The temple, the heart of Israel's worship, was burnt down by the Babylonians. But there's a problem. They give 2 dates, and it feels like a bit of a contradiction. My name's Craig, and this is Morning Star Quest, where we are delving into the Bible one question at a time. And this is so exciting, and I am just loving this journey because it is not just getting into, okay, we're debunking contradictions, but we're getting into a fascinating, well, it's a Bible study. All right, so we have these 2 verses. They sound exactly the same. In fact, they are exactly the same. 2 Kings 25:8-9, except for on the 7th day of the 5th month, then it continues, in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, I love how I can never pronounce these names. Nebuzaradan, commander of the guard and official of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He set fire to the temple of the Lord, the royal palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every important building he burned down. Now you can see here, the second verse here, Jeremiah 52:12-13, is exactly the same. But it says on the 10th day of the 5th month. This is crazy. Why is this different? Now, part of this is the fact that both of these are treating the same words very, very differently. What's different about these 2 verses? Well, the first one is in 2 Kings. I guess the emphasis is, and I've put it here, the king of Babylon came to Jerusalem. Whereas in Jeremiah, the emphasis is he set fire to the temple of the Lord. These are 2 very different events, 2 very different times when they happened. But how do we know this? Well, people say this is a contradiction because the 7th day is not the 10th and the 10th is not the 7th. And it is very clear that Jeremiah is copying word for word 2 Kings. There is no doubt there. But why the difference? Because they want to show you something different. 2 Kings, well, like any kingly documentation, is just, we did this, we destroyed that, we moved on. We did this, we destroyed that, we moved on, we conquered. It is very squashed, and I just get excited with all this stuff. But when it comes to Jeremiah, everything is elongated. There's more information. Plus Jeremiah, where is it here again? Jeremiah is very emotional about everything. What have we got here? Jeremiah 51:54. The sound of cry comes from Babylon, and the sound of great destruction from the land of the Babylonians. The Lord will destroy Babylon. He will silence her noisy din. Doesn't matter what that means right now, but it's very emotional. But then we get back to this, and it's back to conquer, move on. Because they're taking the moment to refocus you on this one thing that happened before in 2 Kings. They're saying this is what happened, but now we're going to talk about the temple. And the reason we know that is because right after this, Jeremiah goes on a very long, detailed list of all the things from the temple that were destroyed. So these 2 are very different verses. Even though they look the same, their emphasis and their context is so different. And I've underlined where the emphasis is on each one of these verses just to show you that you can't just put 2 verses together and think that that is one and done. And that's how God works with us. That's how history works, because when history happens, it's messy, it's awful, and things happen differently over time. People write from different perspectives and try and emphasize different things. 2 Kings is emphasizing that the Jerusalem was conquered. So that's the 7th day of the 5th month. But then Jeremiah comes along and he wants to tell you about the temple. So he emphasizes on the 10th day of the 5th month and then goes on and tells you more about the temple. No, That is not a contradiction. It's complementary. And it's actually trying to add from, like Jeremiah is trying to add from Kings and add to that and then give you another perspective of the same event. This is not a contradiction because it is just plainly false. This is a progression. This is history. This is messy. But they tell you in the text what they're doing. So go do something awesome for God and click on that one, because this is such a fascinating topic with contradictions and finding out there way more. Go do something awesome for God and I'll catch you in the next one.